Hi, my name is Penny Jones. I'm a lieutenant at the Vicksburg Police Department. I am also one of the domestic violence investigators here at our agency. I've been here at the Vicksburg Police Department for 16 years. I've investigated many domestic violence cases here in my career, as I've been a victim of domestic violence as well. Domestic violence is one of the most unreported cases that we have here at our agency. Today I want to speak with you in reference to the stats for domestic violence, what domestic violence is, and also speak with you about cases that I've investigated in my career.
My mommy and Daddy are having a fight.
Is she hitting her?
I'm talking to the police, Mommy. Daddy! Baby! Could you get to the police, please?
Okay, we're going to be there. What's going on?
They're having a fight because this has been going on forever and ever.
How's he hurting her?
He made some red marks on Mom.
Where did he make the red marks on?
Her neck. Oh my God!
What's the matter? Is your Hello?
Domestic violence is a pattern of behavior used to establish power and control over one person. 1 in 4 women will experience domestic violence in their lifetime. Every 9 seconds, a woman is beaten. Women will leave 7 times before they actually leave a relationship for good.
He had put 2 bullets up on the mantelpiece in the apartment, and so every time she walked by, she saw those. And that was, and he did say to her, if you leave, he said, I will kill you.
I still stayed because the threat was that I would never see my little girl again.
You see?
Women of all races are equally vulnerable to domestic violence. Not only are women victims of domestic violence, men are victims of domestic violence as well.
Let me go.
Today I'm going to share with you several stories about some victims who were involved in domestic violence. The names have been changed, but the facts are actually true. Today I'm going to speak with you about James and Sarah. James and Sarah were high school sweethearts who ended up getting married shortly after graduation. They were young and in love and thought their marriage would last forever. They had 2 children early in their marriage. Everything seemed to be going all right until Sarah began to notice changes in James. He no longer had the drive to live the dream that they both wanted to have. He began to drink heavily, couldn't hold down a job. Sarah couldn't understand what the reason was. James physically assaulted Sarah on several different occasions. James would even assault Sarah in front of the children. At some point, James stopped looking for a job and Sarah had to support the family. At some point, Sarah got very tired of the marriage but continued to stay in the marriage until the children got grown. After the children were grown, she decided that she was going to get a divorce. James couldn't handle it. At some point, before the divorce was over, James killed Sarah and he hung himself in a tree in the cemetery. Another story that I wanted to speak on would be Oscar and Renee. Oscar and Renee were married early in life, and they had a bright future together. They both had very good jobs and lived comfortably. Oscar was very mischievous in the marriage. And he was very controlling, and he had several women while he was married to Renee. Renee decided that she was tired of being in the marriage and decided that she wanted a divorce. She was able to get the divorce from Oscar. However, Oscar decided that he wanted to have his cake and eat it too. Oscar decided that he was going to kill his girlfriend, and he decided that he was going to kill his ex-wife. Oscar first went to his girlfriend's house and violently beat his girlfriend in front of her children and killed her in front of her children. Oscar left that location, went to his wife's job in front of several people, kidnapped her, put her in the trunk of his car, drove away, took her to a remote location where he shot her in the head. After Oscar shot her in the head, he shot himself in the head, and their bodies lay right next to each other. In these stories, both females accepted the domestic violence that occurred in their household. There were times when both females called police and had protective orders and asked for help, but still stayed in the relationship. In the end, both husband and wife were killed. There are many safe havens today to help women and their children get out of domestic violence situations. When it comes to time when you decide that you really want to leave, here are some important items that you need to have. You need your driver's license, your social security card, even your partner's information, your children's social security cards, any medical records, passports, cab fare, and any credit cards. You need all of those items. They'll help you get to a safe haven. Another story that made headlines, Susan Steele. Oprah Winfrey spoke about this case. Susan Steele's husband was convicted of domestic violence, and the judge gave him 56 years. Susan was abused by her husband as well as her children.
You play those stupid games with me, I'll knock your teeth out of your face. You hear me?
It's the nightmare we hear happens behind closed doors, but rarely, if ever, see.
You keep playing this game with me, I'm gonna knock your head across that wall.
In a rage, Susan Steele's husband, emotionally and verbally, attacks her in front of their children. With her oldest son, 13, on the other side of the lens, and her 8-year-old son also in the room, Susan's husband calls her stupid 23 times, heifer 28 times, among other dehumanizing names. We recently checked in on Susan and her 2 boys, Desmond and Dane.
It was very difficult leaving with nothing and starting over. When you've been in an abusive relationship for so many years, it's very difficult to undo what's been done.
Since we've left my dad, I've had support basically wherever I went, and I just feel that it's part of you. It's done, it's over. So live with it and make yourself better for it.
Wouldn't you rather your family visit you in the comfort of your own home, or would you rather them visit you here?